Hey, guess what? Time for another video. I'm coming to you not live, from my new home's back porch bungalow, which I happen to love, by the way. Probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite part of my new house. And this is probably where I'll make some future videos as well. I mean, why not? Um, you like my swordfish on the wall? Yeah, that's not mine. It actually came with the house, so it is mine, but I didn't put it there. So, yeah. So today I felt the pull, the desire to make this video. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a little while because I've been nonstop busy as a new homeowner, especially as a homeowner at 24, being as young as I am. I just have some things to get off my chest relating to the whole thing. And yeah, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit. I can't believe how many years have I been making videos now, and I still am nervous on camera at the beginning. Like come on, man. Like, how long? I just don't make videos enough. That's the problem. I just don't make videos enough. I mean, what can I say? I'm a busy guy. But actually, I have a list on my old phone here, actually. I kept my old phone for stuff like this, of course. But there's a few. I have 6 key points that I wanted to talk about in this video. This is going to be like a confessions of a first-time homeowner, a first-time home buyer. Especially for someone as young as me, there's a whole lot that I've had to learn. Like, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the learning curve. Like, just when I first went into this, there was so much that I had to learn, way more than I initially thought. Like, I thought, like, oh yeah, I got the money, I'm just gonna buy a house and move out of my parents' house, and then it's gonna be all great and dandy. I'm gonna be on my own and be self-sufficient and all that good stuff. And yeah, it wasn't that simple, because just the sheer amount of stuff you have to learn. Now, growing up living with your parents, never living on your own without them, you see other people do it. It looks easy, it sounds easy, but honestly, it can be very stressful. And that's how it's been with me. Not all the time, but off and on all the time. But just the amount of stuff you have to learn. Like, for example, you have to learn how to become wiser with your spending habits. You have to you have to learn how to cut out distractions, and because you just have so much to do as a new homeowner, so much to learn, so much to do, and you hardly have much time. I've had to learn the area too. Like, I mean, I already knew the area because I only live about 17 minutes from my parents' house. So I already knew the area for the most part. But the specific area, like where all the stores are, where the best routes are, that kind of stuff. The best route to my new gym, because I did change gyms now. So, all that kind of stuff, right? And learning how to organize a house, learning how to find the best deals on things you need to buy. There's just so much involved, and I'm not gonna lie, I've had to get a lot of help from my parents, of course, because, well, I mean, let's be honest, you're not an island. Like, for example, I kind of felt guilty for getting help from my parents, which sounds stupid. Like, my mom would come to my house a lot, so would my dad too, and bring some tools and stuff and help me out with a lot of stuff. And I was thinking, like, oh man, I shouldn't be getting help from my parents, and this is my own house, right? I should be doing everything on my own. But it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not know everything, because let's be honest, I'm still kind of like a kid. As a this is a lot for someone my age, and I had to come to terms with the fact that it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to accept help and not feel inferior or like I'm not capable by accepting help. So it's okay to ask for help when it comes to any big thing you do in your life. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to accept that help, and it's okay to ask questions to people more experienced than you and ask for advice in every which way possible in any fashion. So yeah, there's a lot I've had to learn throughout this process, and some of it is very stressful, some of it's just very time consuming. But at the age of 24, having a house that I don't have a mortgage for. Yeah, I bought the house in full in cash, so I don't have any mortgage. Like, I don't have to worry about any mortgage. And my job, like my regular job, ended in October. I have a side job, like a side gig that I do, but it's not very. Like, I don't get a lot of those in. I don't do that as much in the colder months, so it's not really a reliable job. I mean, it's decent. It's nice to have on the side. It's more like a side gig fun thing, but it's not like um, it's. I mean, I'm actually wearing the shirt for that because I had a shift tonight, a tour actually. I also donate plasma, so donating plasma has really helped. So, because I'm in between jobs right now, I don't actually have a regular like 9 to 5 right now. But having a house actually is putting less pressure on me to get a regular job, get a regular 9 to 5 right now. Like, I still want one, but I'm actually getting by right now without one, without having this huge rush to get a job instantly as fast as possible, like a regular job. Because like I'm making about $2,000 a month without working a regular job, because I got the side job. I donate plasma, of course, like I said, and I also rent out the 2 spare bedrooms in my house, and I make $1,300 a month from my renters. So I have 2 roommates, and I have my rooms rented out because of that. And so that's actually been helping out tremendously with my expenses right now in the search for another job. So I have so much to do house related. That's the thing. When you buy a house for the first time, or really any time, this goes for anybody buying a new house, moving to a new home, you're going to have so much stuff to do. Like, just from my perspective, I don't see how you have enough time to work 40 hours a week and do all the stuff required that it takes when like moving into a new house. I'm just not ready to have the time for a regular job. And thankfully, I have the luxury, because I don't have a mortgage and because I still have money coming in and I still have savings. Thankfully, I have the luxury of not needing to rush to my next job as fast as possible, because I genuinely feel like I don't have time to work a 9 to 5 right now, or work a 40-hour job right now, just because of the sheer amount of stuff that I need to do house related. Because it's like, however much you think is required in buying a house, moving into a new house, unpacking, buying all the stuff you need, and doing all the stuff required, is just whatever you think it is, like times it by 10. Like, there's so much involved, really. But I mean, this doesn't go for literally every single experience that there is, but this has been my experience for sure, and that's what I'm telling today is my experience with this. Yeah, I'm not speaking for every single home buyer on earth, but this has been my personal experience with it anyway. But yeah, I still need a regular job. Actually, there's another point I needed to make. I didn't have quite enough funds to cover the entire house in one purchase. I actually had almost just enough. I actually had to borrow $10,000 from my dad's credit card. And my dad took out $10,000 from this credit card that he loaned me to cover the entire cost, because I was $10,000 short, right? So once my dad took that money out of the credit card and gave me that, I could cover the whole house in one go. And now I owe my dad that $10,000. And here's the kicker though. faster I pay off that $10,000, the less I have to pay, because every month that it's not paid off, the interest goes higher and higher and higher. So basically, the longer it takes for me to pay it off, the more money I'm going to end up paying in the long run. So, if I were to get, the faster I get a regular job, I'll start saving money a whole lot faster than I am. So my aim is to hopefully pay off that in roughly 12 months. That's my general goal. If I pay it off faster, then great, but I'm generally aiming to pay it off in 12 months or less. So yeah, that's basically the downside to not getting a new job as soon as possible. But honestly, time is money, but also I need all the time I can get to do as much house stuff as I possibly can. Because it's like, on one hand, I can work 40 hours a week plus donate plasma and do my side job and all that. And still have to have time for basic everyday necessities and stuff like that, shopping, cooking. I'm learning how to cook better and stuff. But at the same time, I still have, the list is so long, you wouldn't believe it. I'll get into the list. I'll get into some of the list for sure. But yeah, that's you got to take the good with the bad. But I still do need to get a regular job on top of everything else in order to save money faster, so I can pay off that credit card, my dad's credit card, even faster, so I don't have to worry about paying unnecessarily extra interest amounts on top of what I already owe. But on the good news, however, is that outside of that $10,000 credit card that I'm borrowing from my dad, I don't have any other expenses. None. No mortgage, no nothing. I don't have, once I get that thing paid off, I'm going to be set. That's what I'm really looking forward to most. Give me about 10 to 12 months or so. I'm going to be saving money left and right. And I have plans for, once I'm saving money, once I have that paid off, and once I'm saving as much money as possible, I do have plans for what I'm going to do once I'm financially able to. But that is probably the best news of it all, is that's my only debt. And I just bought a house at 24, and that's my only debt. No mortgage. I just got to pay my dad the credit card money back, which is $10,000. So the other thing is, okay, let's see. Yeah. From my experience buying a house, and oh my God, this really has taken a toll. I'm not gonna lie. It really takes up all your time and mental energy, because the list of required things to do just keeps on growing. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't had time for pretty much anything else outside of homeowner stuff, I haven't had time for social media, other than making this video, of course, and my last video, of course, about buying a house at 24. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Sure. I haven't had time for friends. I haven't had time for basic human interaction. Honestly, it's a miracle that I'm even talking like this, so fluidly in this video. I attribute that to my my ghost tour job, my tour job. Pretty much outside of my parents and occasionally my roommates, the only regular social interaction I've really been getting is the grocery store, or going to the plasma center. But doing tours at the boardwalk is probably the most social interaction I get. And I don't even get that many tours. It's crazy how little time that you have becoming a first-time homeowner, especially for someone as young as me anyway. You just have to like, you have to go into like I don't want to say like hermit mode, but like borderline, you can't get distracted. There's so many like things I want to do but I can't do right now because like I'm just so wrapped up in this new homeowner stuff. And yeah, it can be sucky sometimes. It really can. But that's just the truth of it. And it's like, you don't really like, I'm not in the mental mind space for like, I don't have room mentally for anything else right now until like this long list of stuff is complete, you know? And let's see, responsibility and peace. I wrote that down as a key point too. Honestly, it's exciting. It's exciting having this much responsibility. It's like, I'm responsible. You're responsible for everything that happens in your life. You're responsible for your bills. You're responsible for your roommates, because you're their landlord. I'm currently a landlord right now to two roommates. And I'm responsible for all my meals. I'm responsible for learning how to get things done, learning how to do new things, learning how to find the correct routes to go to the places I want to go or have to go for that matter. Yeah, there's just so much responsibility as a man, especially moving out of my parents' house for the first time. And it's like, it's interesting. It really is. It's an interesting roller coaster ride, to be honest. Like, I'm gonna, I mean, I'll be honest. I have had to call my mom a lot and ask for her opinion on a whole lot of stuff, but that's just because I'm new to this whole adulting business. You know, it's like, there's, like I said during the learning curve segment of this video. I mean, it's all about trial and error, asking for advice, being okay with, asking for help, and, learning everything you need to learn along the way. But yeah, it's like the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more responsibility you take on, the better you get at being responsible. So, and yeah, the peace that I've gotten to, like, not every day is like that. Like, some days are really, really stressful. Like, I just feel like, oh my God, I'm not getting anything done. I feel like I am, sometimes I feel like I'm wasting too much time, not getting anything done. I have this long list. First of all, I have a long list in my head of everything I need to get done. I also have a list of things, like everything I need to buy that's written down, like physically written down. And I also have a shopping list that I kind of neglect to write on my fridge, but I do need to write that down more because I'm having so many issues remembering things that I need to buy. On top of that, I'm having so many issues remembering things that I've already bought. Sometimes I'm literally in my kitchen and I can't remember half the stuff I bought sometimes. Like, my memory issues are so bad sometimes, and I know that's because of my accident that happened about 1.5 years ago. Yeah, lists, like, what was I just talking about? Yeah, so sometimes I'll think like, oh my God, I'm not getting anything done. I'm just like wasting time, and then I'll get back into it and I'll start getting back in the flow of things, and it's all good again. Just not living with my parents, it's actually sometimes kind of peaceful. And I'm not saying nothing against my parents, of course. It's actually really nice actually getting that space and getting that much needed sense of, obviously responsibility, but of course also, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now, but it's like similar to responsibility. Yeah, it's getting that experience of living without your parents, like living in a home without your parents, and relying on yourself for everything. It's just, it's pretty incredible. Very stressful at times, but once you get through that stress, it is very incredible. And plus, my biological brother, I don't like, this is not a video about that, but it's really, really awesome. Like, it's really nice, really peaceful to not live in the same house as my biological brother because, I don't want to get into that, but, he did make fun of me a lot for living with my parents at the age of 20. At 20. I kid you not. I was being made fun of at 20 for living with my parents. And now he's 21 living with his parents. And I actually Googled it. The average age for moving out of your parents' house for the first time is between the ages of 24 and 27. And I'm 24. I'm on the lower side of that. So I feel like I'm doing pretty damn good for myself. You know what I mean? So, I think there's one more key point I have on my list. Let's see. Yeah, what this means for my future opportunities. Actually, there's two more things on my list. All right. Yeah. So what this means for my future opportunities. Yeah. The average age of a first-time home buyer is 35 in the United States. But, so I'm 24. I'm already 11 years ahead of the curve. Now, 35 is just the average age of a first-time home buyer. That's not the average age of somebody who's paid off their house. Like, that's just the average age of someone who buys a house for the first time. I have not only bought a house, but I have a house with no mortgage. Like, I'm just paying off my dad's credit card. That's it. And then I'm set. Like, that's definitely a lot more significant than just buying a house and having a mortgage, which the average age for that is 35, like I said. So this actually changes a whole lot for myself now, but also myself in the future. Like, this is going to set up so many opportunities for myself. I'm not going to be like stressing, working a 9 to 5, just in the rat race, all the time. Like, obviously no one wants to be in the rat race, but I really feel like I have a head start on a lot of things in life because I have this as my foundation. And it's incredible because I can build so much from this. Like, I can have renters that I can get a monthly income from, and also I can make good connections with people I rent to. I can, meet interesting people, and make friends like I already am doing. It's a mosquito. Wait, why is there a mosquito out here in December? I don't know. Like, why am I wearing short sleeves in December? Because it's 65 degrees out here and it's nighttime. And it's December 18th? The weather is bipolar sometimes. But yeah, I'm not having to worry about housing. Like, housing is quite the crisis in America. I mean, if you haven't been living under a rock, I'm sure you've known that for a while, but housing is a pretty big issue for a lot of Americans. It's skipping the whole moving into an apartment with a roommate and paying rent every month. It's like, I'm definitely missing out on a little bit of interesting life experiences. I feel like not doing that, but I'm also like putting myself so much farther ahead of the average person my age. Well, obviously, of course. But I feel like I'm doing a terrible job getting this point across, but I have so many more opportunities in my future than most people my age. I feel like I have a lot more opportunities in my future than I ever would have before. Like, I'm not constantly, living paycheck to paycheck, stressing about, paying a rent to a landlord, because you know what? I am the landlord. At 24, I'm a landlord. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. I'd never in my wildest dreams, just 2-3 years ago, would I have thought I'd be a landlord at 24. I mean, it's still mind-boggling to me. It really is. And let's see, what else? Yes, I have one more thing. Yes. So, okay, last point. There is this incredible weight that has been lifted off my shoulders for this weight had been on my shoulders for so long, right? Now, being a homeowner can be very stressful. Like, I'm not gonna say it's not. Like, it can be very stressful. Like, just last week, I had to deal with plumbing issues, and I had to pay $125 to American Home Shield to get a plumber out to my house to deal with all the issues. And I had to make a lot of phone calls, and I had to ask a lot of questions, and it was very, very stressful. Couldn't use some of the stuff in my bathroom for a while, like the shower and toilet and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, a lot of it really is so stressful. But once you get past that kind of stuff, once you get past all the stress of it, especially for someone like me, like, listen, I got to get this point across. If there's no other point I can get across, it has to be this one. I've spent my entire life feeling like I'm behind in some type of way, like feeling like other people are ahead of me, especially like being like homeschooled and seeing other people go to regular public school as a kid, of course. Now, like, I didn't get my birth certificate. Wait, back to the homeschooling thing. Like, I often felt like growing up being homeschooled, like, I often felt like other kids my age, it seemed like they were, because they're, going like, oh, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, I often felt like they were ahead of me in some way because, they're being taught things in school that I'm not being taught, at home and whatnot. So, of course, I feel like I'm behind there. Most of my life, I never had a birth certificate or an ID, and I never got a high school diploma either. So I didn't even get my birth certificate until I was 21, and I didn't get my ID until I was almost 22. And so not being able to get my first real job, like, I had a job at 17, but I got paid under the table. Like, I got paid $725 an hour in cash to spin a sign outside of Great Clips, which was honestly an incredible experience for a first job at 17, which I could make a video about that a different time. But my first, like, real regular job, not saying the first job wasn't real, but it was definitely real. But my first, like, regular job that you require an ID to get, I didn't even get that regular job until 2022, when I was almost 22, because most jobs require an ID, and I felt like I'm working with a bunch of, like, at that specific job I was a lifeguard. And most people starting out during that job are like 16, 17, 18. I'm older than most of my coworkers, so it was kind of weird. Most of my life, those are just a couple examples, but I don't want to make this video way too long, but most of my life there have been so many examples where I've just, whether it's true or not, I've felt behind in some way. But having this house, having this accomplishment under my belt, it just lifts this burden off my shoulders of being behind, if you know what I mean. Realistically, though, as I get older, I'm realizing more and more that I really wasn't behind, per se. It was mostly just my brain tricking me that I was behind. It was mostly just the negative thoughts, telling me something that wasn't true. I was never really, like, actually behind. I had a lot of life experiences that led me to think that I was actually behind. But still, that burden would still exist on my shoulders and often really hurt my self-esteem and whatnot. So having something like this, accomplishing something like this, is just an incredible, like, in a way, an incredible weight off my shoulders that just makes me feel ahead for once. I feel like I've actually gotten ahead in something. For once in my life, I feel like I'm ahead of the curve rather than being behind, because I grew up feeling behind in mostly every category in my life. And now I get the joyful experience and peaceful experience of feeling like I'm ahead. And I'm not just ahead, like I'm ahead by a long shot in this kind of category. So it's just an incredible new experience. And there's just so much more I could talk about. There's so much more I could get into, but we're already at half an hour in this video, and I don't want to I don't want this video to go on all night. But overall, I think I've covered all the points I could possibly cover. There's just so much, like, because I don't really talk to anyone that much right now. I'm not really talking to anyone other than like my parents, and there's so much I could say. There's really so much I could say. There's a lot of people that I really miss. And I just, oh yeah, I didn't get into my list. This video is already long enough, but there's I could get in, okay, just a few. I'm just going to name a few things I need to do. Okay, so there's right across from, I'm not going to turn the camera around because it's kind of difficult to get the camera to sit like this. I don't want to mess it up. But there's a camper in my backyard. It's old and it's not salvageable. It's all molded and rotten and it needs to go. So I need to hire someone to cut the fence and get rid of it. I don't know if I can get any money for it. Probably not, but maybe I'll have to look into that. The previous owners left a bunch of trash and stuff, and in the shed, there's actually 2 sheds, and a lot of it needs to be taken to the dump, and a lot of it needs to be rummaged through, because one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? There's actually some really good stuff that the previous owners left behind. There's a lot of paint that needs to be touched up. Like every room in the house, there's touch up that needs to be done with the paint. What else? I need to get a few more furniture pieces. I need to get more furniture. I need to throw away a rug and put down a new rug. I still have a shopping list, stuff I need to buy. And let's see, what else? There is, oh yeah, the side porch, it needs to go. It's kind of sinking in a little bit. I need to get a new porch for the side of the house. I need to fix the doorbell, because I have a doorbell, it just doesn't work. It probably needs new batteries. And let's see, what else? I need a new sink. That's actually not a top priority, but later down the road, I'd like a new sink, because it's kind of like an older sink. It's not really top quality at all. I need a new fridge. Funny story, I don't want to make this video way too long. I keep saying that. Every time I say it, the video gets longer. How about that? I actually bought, because the current fridge I have doesn't have enough space, and it doesn't make its own ice or filter its own water. So I got a new fridge, and well, I forgot to measure the spot where the fridge is supposed to go, and it was too big. It didn't fit. It literally hurt my soul when the fridge didn't fit. I just couldn't believe I forgot to measure it. It's mistakes like this. You're going to make dumb mistakes when you're a first-time homeowner, and it happens, but we can't beat ourselves up over it. So now I have to sell the fridge I just bought and then buy a new one. I also bought a new stove, and I replaced my current stove, and now I have to get rid of my old stove. I need to get a new microwave too, because the microwave I'm using came from my dad's old truck, and it is not the best, I must tell you. And there's so much more. I'm just drawing a blank right now. This video's gone on long enough though. There's so much more I could explain. There's so much more I need to do. I need to paint a desk, because I'm planning on getting a new PC, and I have a desk for it because the previous owners left a pretty decently nice desk, computer desk, but I need to paint it too. So there is that. And I probably need to get I need to fix the gutters. Like I need to there's something about when I got the home inspection, the home inspector told me that the gutters need to be fixed. So there's something about the gutters that need to be fixed. It's going to cost a lot of money, so I need to do that. On top of that, my check engine light in my car is on, so I need to deal with that, but that's not really house related, so not really a top priority right now. I mean, check engine light's going to be the check engine light, so what are you going to do? Got my first Christmas tree, so that's what's up. And oh yeah, I probably need a new HVAC system, the heating unit in my house, because it's from when the house was built. Like it's like an 80s or 90s, probably 90s HVAC system. So it's not terrible right now, but it will probably need to be replaced very soon. Oh, and all the windows need to be cleaned and new curtains need to be put up. So there is that too. And I'm just thinking of more and more stuff as I go on. Like yard stuff needs to be done. I actually need to go around the yard with a grabber because the previous owners, they actually left some trash in some various different places in the yard. And I don't think it was them in the front yard, like in the very front yard, like over by the street. There's some trash in the ditch, and I need to go around take care of that. And there's a bird bath in the backyard. I'd like to replace that with a better one because that one is like kind of old and broken. But yeah, it's a very nice, spacious backyard. I really like it. I think it has a lot of potential. And yeah, those are just a few things that I could think of off the top of my head that I need to get done, and we're 36, almost 37 minutes in, so I think I'm going to call it here. But yeah, that's about everything I can think of for now in this video. I will probably be making more videos. There's that mosquito again, hovering around my lantern right here. That's what's providing light. This is lantern. Yeah, I use it for my job as well. Yeah. All right. I think I've said everything I need to say. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas if I don't make another video before Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And I hope that this video was nice and informative to at least somebody out there, or if not, that's fine too. I felt really good making this video, so it was nice to get all this off my chest. All right. Have a good one. See ya. Bye.